Okay, Zombicide enthusiasts, whether it's modern, classic, Black Plague, Invader, I love the Zombicide type games for not only the narrative, but the fact that it is approachable by any type of player, regardless of board gaming experience. And there's this awesome tension in the game. You start out, you've got your mission objectives, you've got your mission goals, some zombies spawn, they start moving on the board, and you're feeling pretty good. You're feeling pretty confident, especially if you've got some good gear. You got lucky with a couple of searches. And then something happens out of nowhere, and suddenly zombies are everywhere, abominations are everywhere, and things are getting absolutely crazy. So the tension of how the game ramps up, in my opinion, delivers that experience perfectly. And in this vlog, I wanted to build, as an enthusiast, a quick checklist of how to manage that experience, how to physically, on the table, work to pull that best experience out. Now, if you've been following my channel, my board gaming vlogs for any amount of time, the social aspects are what's important. Physically, everyone has a place at my table. I love running really big games, and for that reason, Zombicide is a big favorite because we can throw down 6, 8, 10, 12 players and really scale the game up. I love really big social games. But management of a few key points, if possible, helps pull the narrative more, makes it better, makes it more exciting, delivers that Zombicide tension. So let's build that checklist, and then I'm going to turn it over to you guys in the comments and see if we can get some ideas that I can incorporate in my own games. So the first thing is, if possible, and this is dependent on space, I like to lay out all of the miniatures on one side of the table. I usually leave them in the plastic trays. Occasionally I might pull them out if it's one of my painted sets, but to have a central kind of zombie station, if possible, and if not on the main table, maybe flipping over the box tops and putting them there and having them ready to go. I find this helps tremendously when it comes to spawning the miniatures, when it comes to managing the miniatures. Because again, as we move later on in the game, all those zombies, they get dumped. They make it onto the table. So to be able to put them on the table quickly keeps the pulse, keeps the game going. I also like a central location so that as we destroy zombies or invaders, they can go back into the pool. So this idea of having a centralized pool off to the side within reach. Now, I like to have a zombie master. This might be myself. It might be another player with the experience. Someone that when it comes time to activate and spawn in that tournament of the game, manages it. I mean, you could take a turn or see whoever wants to do it. But I find, especially in larger games, being able to appoint a person who is responsible for the management and the spawns and the movement of the miniatures, it just makes it a lot more fluid. They know what to do. They can kind of move through, and we can push that piece out, because after all of the zombies move and they spawn, we want to get that on the table as quickly as possible, because now the players, they're going to look. And we're going to have to make some tactical choices. We're going to have to see what we're going to do. So having that out as quickly and as fluidly as possible is very important, and it's really kind of good to make that and push that. The second option, the next option, if possible, is to have a set of D6 dice for each player. True to many types of board games, it comes with one set, a usable set. They're trying to cut costs. You'll pass the dice around. If you have had the good fortune to be part of the Kickstarters or maybe secondary sources, there are various custom Zombicide dice. Fortunately, it's a D6 based system, and it's pretty easy to get colored dice or get D6 type dice. To be able to pull that into Zombicide speeds things up. Every player has their own set of dice. And with that interaction, making the rolls, utilizing it just keeps the flow going. It keeps it going, besides kind of passing around the dice and playing it in that way. The third piece, and then we're going to turn it over, is I find after the zombies have spawned, now they've moved, they've spawned, they've made their attacks, we've resolved all that, we're passing the player token, and now we're getting ready for the next phase, to have a 2 or 3 minute 4-minute, 5-minute, however many minutes planning session. As a group, what are we going to do? And this is just very informal. The idea, because in such a fast-paced game, and this is not only true with Zombicide but other board games, it's we don't want someone to dominate the game. We don't want someone issuing orders. I mean, your character on the table, that's you. That's your living avatar. That's what you've chosen to play in this universe, in this game. I can't control you in real life. I can't order you around in real life, and we're in a life or death tabletop survival situation. So I don't want to meta. I don't want a kingmaker. I don't want to do kind of alpha player, all that type of stuff. I think it's important for everyone's voice. I believe strongly in this. Their voice, their contribution, their thoughts and ideas, but ultimately you own your character. So when it's your turn, hopefully we'll make a decision for the group, but being able to own your own decisions and own your own character, express the fun in that game. And I find that if everyone can just take a moment and kind of be like, all right, you're going to go here and search, you're going to go here and activate the bot, you're going to go over here and maybe set yourself up, make that attack, hit him with the dragon bile, light it up, back and forth, having somewhat of a plan. Again, the idea with these 3 concepts to increase the speed of the game, increase the efficiency, increase the flow. So this way those zombies make it out and we take advantage in a good way of the tension, the atmosphere, the narrative that the game builds.